Today's professional development is going to focus on guided reading. This is the most challenging part of a balanced literacy program to learn. So we're focusing the entire afternoon on just guided reading. Fontes and Pinnell define guided reading as students read a teacher-selected text in a small group. The teacher provides explicit teaching and support for reading increasingly challenging texts with accuracy, understanding, and fluency. Basically, what this means is that small groups of students are reading text that is just a little bit challenging for them and requiring the teacher to individually support each student while they're reading. Today we're going to focus on before, during, and after reading in a guided reading lesson. The most important thing is to assess our students. In the future, we're all going to be giving the BAS assessment. It's important to figure out the students' instructional reading levels so that you can begin your instruction. You will have a variety of instructional reading levels in your classroom, and you'll need to group students with like instructional reading levels together so that you can have a manageable number of groups. Next, it's important to select the text. In your continuum of literacy learning, Fontes and Pinnell provide 10 text characteristics that you should consider when selecting text for your students. And then finally, you work with your group, and the first thing you do is introduce the text. Remember, in a guided reading lesson, most of the time spent should be students reading. So you want to provide a brief, targeted introduction to get the kids ready for their independent reading. During the reading lesson, students need to either whisper read to themselves, or older kids can read silently. The teacher listens to one student read at a time. The teacher often will make anecdotal notes so that she or he can keep track of the prompts and the needs of the student, and also making sure to compliment the things that the student is doing correctly. The teacher then will listen to another student read a little bit louder so that all students are actively engaged in reading the entire time. Sometimes the teacher may take a brief running record on a student to document how they're progressing, because these groups should be fluid. Sometimes students will move from one guided reading level to another quickly than other kids in their group, and it's important for teachers to know when to move students up and sometimes down a group. The final piece is after reading. After reading, the teacher needs to bring it all together, connect the learning for the students. Sometimes this might include turning and talking to a partner about a comprehension question. It might include a graphic organizer or a quick group discussion. And sometimes it also includes word work, something that the students can target with practicing independently. I think you will find that you're already doing a lot of the components of a guided reading lesson. Most of you have grouped your students into small instructional groups. You all are giving book introductions and having kids read to you in small group settings. The key is the prompting and the individualizing the instruction within the small group setting. So hopefully, as you participate in this afternoon's professional development, you will have a better understanding of what that looks like. Have a great afternoon.